Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out The Best Thing I Ever Did by Twice. So I have not checked out a Twice song yet on the channel, though I have heard some of their songs. Someone recommended I check this song out because it has some wintry, festive vibes to it, so I thought that I would check it out while I am doing some extra videos to celebrate the second year anniversary of having the channel, and this song was recommended, and when someone said it to me, I replied saying I don't think I've heard any Twice songs, which is ridiculous. Of course I have. TT. Cheer up. Yes or yes. Like, of course I've heard a Twice song. I don't know why that just like slipped my brain in that moment. That being said, I only know like a handful of some of their most popular songs, and I don't know anything about the group. So I don't know anything specific about like the members or how the group was formed or their history or anything like that. I probably do know some of the members, like recognize their name if they're like, they've done like popular like solo projects or have done like collabs with other artists, then I might know them. I think I recognized a couple of them when I was looking up the lyrics for this song, so I may know of some of the members, but that doesn't mean I actually know anything about them. So I'm coming into this kind of new to Twice for the full extent. I haven't seen any of their MVs before, so we are going to check out the lyrics first so that I can listen to the song and their vocals, because I'm easily distracted by pretty things. So if I watch the MV, I will get distracted and not pay attention to the song. So we're gonna do that first. I know that the lyric videos aren't always super accurate in terms of translation or who's singing what. I'm just there to get like an idea of what the lyrics say, especially since I'm mostly just there to like listen to the song, and then I'm going to have the subtitles on the MV so that I can get like a better idea of what the lyrics are trying to say. So that is going to be the plan. So first we are going to check out the lyric video and just get a taste of the vocals and the production on this song. Let's check out this song. My first kind of proper introduction into Twice as a group. I'm kind of excited. Okay, first off, I'm getting the festive vibes that you were talking about. Also, the vocals. Like, I like the vocalization that's happening. And the vocal melody is interesting. Ooh, okay, there's like these interesting like synths in it, but they're almost like bell tones, but they've been like elongated, like they're longer than you usually get with a bell tone. So far, thoroughly intrigued. Interesting dynamics of the vocals already. Like, we've only had, what, 4 of them? Possibly, again, probably not the most accurate about who's singing what. But just those 2 voices there, like the main first verse. One very light and almost, I want to say like a middle kind of placement, like a normal kind of resting placement of the sound. But then the second voice was a little bit more forward. It's a little bit brighter. There was definitely more closure on the vocal cords to kind of get that a little bit more fuller sound than like the really breathy light sound that we started with. But I like that progression because it wasn't like aggressive or like super punchy or anything like that. It was just a more compressed sound. So you start very breathy and light and then shift into the still very like soft but more compressed voice. So I like that progression already with showing the dynamics of the vocals. Now I just want to know if that's like their singing voice all the time or if that was a specific choice for the song. This is going to be a rabbit hole that I fall down. I was like, we're going to do one song of Twice, and I can already feel myself being pulled in. It's been 30 seconds. I need to calm down. There's still some breathiness. Ooh, I love that swell that we had with the layered vocals. I really like how they're putting in little moments of the layered vocal, like harmony into it. It's just really nice to kind of reinforce certain parts of the phrases. But I loved how we got another voice that was really in a chest register, a little bit more oomph to it. So I like that there's this build up to the vocals. Again, I don't know if that's because these particular vocalists, that's how they usually sing, so they're just arranging like the line distribution based on people's preferred singing styles, or if this is like them changing their voice to match like that build up happening. Either way, brilliantly done, because both are good decisions to have that like literal build up in the vocals to kind of push the song forward. Especially since there's not a ton of production. Cool, like layered vocal, like directly layered on top of each other. It's not like voices like harmonizing with each other or being like different octaves. It's literally just like two of the vocals, like tracks, layered on top of each other. I like that kind of progress downward. Okay, so if it's right with who's singing what, then we do have that kind of lighter tone with Mina generally, but I do like that kind of repetitive but descending vocal line that we have here. I really like that. Okay, there's that like kind of glitching staticky sound. I picked up a little bit of that before. Interesting, because we have this talk of like the best thing I ever did, and they're talking about like I didn't break up with you, it might have been leave you. I'm not sure about the translation, but it's almost like that's not what they did. You know, it's like retrospectively I would have done this differently. So having this kind of static white noise feels like, you know, like lost signal, or like it almost makes me think of like old films. You know how you have, I'm probably not anymore, but if I can age myself for a second, you have like old like home videos and stuff, but you would even have like videos. I remember I got like my first like camera when I was like 10, 11 or something, and it could take video. So I just have like all these videos from when I was like a preteen with my friends, pictures and stuff like that. So it almost feels like you're watching a video from a past time, like an older video, and then there's kind of that noise in like the tape of it. I'm thinking specifically of like tapes where you used to have to like the little tiny tape, you had to put it into like a bigger VHS so that you could put it in the VCR. I'm probably saying a lot of words that if you're like 14, you do not understand. But if you're my age or older, you understand what I'm saying. And it would have like the static, and there'd be like the pop kind of noise that would happen before like the video started. And that's kind of what it makes me think of, is it's like it's not an actual thing that they're talking about. It's what they wish they had done. Because there's kind of this melancholy feeling to the song, like the production and the choice of vocal melodies. I find the little static sounds interesting, like an interesting add with all of these kind of brighter kind of like bells and festive kind of sounds. So this is a very compressed voice. This too. See, it's almost like melodic rapping. So we've gone from like this very breathy, light voice, progressed through all the voices, gotten into the second verse with a very like lots of closure on that voice, very bright, lots of forward placement on it. And then and it was like more, like there were more beats to it. It was like the lyrics were filling up more of the beats. It was a faster rhythm, and then moving into almost this melodic rap. So it's like progressing from light, airy, lots of space in between the notes, and then compressing, literally like compressing like your voice, but then also compressing the like amount of notes that you're singing within the space of that, all the way up to like rap, which is the closest you kind of get to speaking, right? So I like the whole progression of that vocal distribution of it. Okay, so it's like the best thing I never did. Ooh, interesting note choice at the end of that phrase, though. There are all these little moments where they kind of go against where I think the melody is going to progress, which adds some interest because like I was saying before, there's a ton happening production-wise, but I think that that's not a bad thing in this case because I think it fits with the aesthetic of the song. I think if you had a bunch of stuff going on, it would feel clustered. There's also a lot of them. I'm just now registering that. There's what, 9 of them? Which like K-pop terms isn't the largest number out there, but it's still a lot of people to have to arrange into a song. And it's really focusing, like I've been saying, on like their vocal ability and the way that they're deciding to arrange who's singing what parts and how that pushes the song along. So if you had a ton of busy stuff happening in the production, it would pull you away from the vocals. And with so many different voices, they're so distinct in the way that they're singing that if you were to do anything that would distract from that, I feel like it would just get cluttered really quickly. And to add in that interest again, since they're trying to make you focus on the vocals that are going on, putting in those moments where they are going against where like the normal progression of the vocal would be is really interesting. It keeps you focused because every time it happens, I like refocus on what's happening. Beautiful little cry. I interrupted. Do it again. That was a good little moment. And not, again, a good moment in the vocal, a little statement piece in the vocals, and yet not overpowering. Like it's not a huge belting showstopper kind of moment. I kind of think of the moment in like a Broadway play before like the first act ends, before intermission. There's always kind of like a big statement vocal moment of whoever the main character is in the Broadway play. And that's kind of like this big belting moment that shows off a ton of like vocal ability. And that like wasn't that just happened. And again, not in a bad way. It fits in with the song. I feel like having a huge moment there would have pulled out of it. I feel like also part of the song is this vulnerability to it of like talking about I think I'm falling in love and I think that's the best thing I did, and like talking about how you're just happy to be with this person that you care about, or people, it could be multiple. Having a moment that would have been like a hey look at me kind of vocal moment would have totally pulled out of the sincerity that they're trying to have with the song. So I think it fits really well to have a moment of, like I said, a statement moment in the vocals, but only like in relation to the rest of the song. I think in the context of a different song, that note wouldn't have felt as much of a statement moment because there would have been other things going on with the song. And again, I only know their biggest hits. I don't know entirely what their vocal range is. I don't even know if I really paid that much attention directly to the vocals in like passing of hearing their songs. So I don't really have any note on that one, but I feel like if it was in a different kind of song, it wouldn't have felt as much of a statement moment. But because this is a very understated song that is focusing on the sincerity of it, it feels more like a statement. Still love that kind of like rolling, descending vocal. Ooh. You know what it just made me think of, because I was like, that rolling, it has that feeling of like cyclical, right? So it's also repetitive, but they're talking about how like the best thing they did is like they're here with this person, or they're here with this person they care about, that this is like the best moment they could be in and they want to stay here. So having that kind of cyclical feeling to it makes it feel like this is a like repetitive, right? And if it's like this, right? Just like this, it's like I want to keep coming back to this moment, right? I want us to have this all the time. So I like that that's like a little bit of storytelling within the song, even though I was just focusing on it because I like the sound. With the bells. Ooh, you can hear like a clock almost ticking sound too. Oh, I like the little fade out too with the vocals and all of the production. I feel like I'm just sitting here smiling because that's the kind of song it is. I have like fuzzy vibes after that, but we're gonna check out the music video, so we'll see what other cozy vibes they have for us. I feel like it's gonna be festive. I am so ready for this, to see what kind of coziness we have for in this music video. Oh. Oh my gosh, are they in like a video store? I like seeing them in like different settings. Okay, not to fully interrupt, we're kind of seeing them in these more like grown-up outfits, like the jewelry, the choice of like the different cuts to their like shirts and stuff like that. But then also I'm seeing in the background there's like Ferris wheel and a carousel and stuff like that, or like being, I was saying like in a video store, music store. It looked almost like one of them was like in a movie theater or something, but it's these more like childhood places, right? Where it's more innocent, more carefree, more fun-loving. So that contrast between like them being in these outfits that provoke more of a mature aesthetic and then having these more like childish elements that are like in the environment around them. I wonder if we're going to progress into something where they're more childish and like, I don't mean that in like a bad way. I feel like I'm saying childish and it could be taken as a negative, in a more like whimsical way. Let's say like, you know, when you have like that sense of wonder that you have when you're a kid, that playfulness. So I wonder if that's kind of be the progression of the song, where they're able to get to that place again where they can kind of be more carefree and take themselves out of the more like serious, mature places that you have to be when you're an adult. See, it's like an aquarium, but like with rides and stuff, like a water park. Aww. I didn't know we were gonna get like in our feels about them being friends and stuff. Aww. I don't even know them, and I'm like, that's so precious. I love that though. See, I was saying before about how like it may not be about a specific person, it may just be like each other, right? And I was thinking it could have been like the other members of the group, it could have been like the people who have helped them along the way, it could have been even like their fans or their staff or whatever, like the people that have helped get them to this point where they can feel some of that fun, feel some of that carefreeness, feel more relaxed in themselves. Because I'm pretty sure Twice has been doing this for a while. Like I know that this is an older video, but I think they debuted 2015, maybe around there. Definitely correct me. I feel like that's around where I know their music from. Like Cheer Up, I think was their debut song. I don't know a whole lot, so you can correct me 100%. That means that they've been doing this for a while, and I feel like you get into a rhythm with the people that you're with, and that means that you can be a little bit more of yourself without it feeling overwhelming or like you have to put on a part. I know that a certain amount of being a performer is having a stage persona. How much that deviates from who you are kind of depends on the person, how much they prefer to separate who they actually are from their stage persona. But that doesn't mean that you're not being yourself when you have to spend a bunch of time off stage with these people, right? Like if you don't like the people you're working with, it's really hard. And I say this as somebody who has worked with people on stage that I did not get along with, and you have to put in so much more energy to just be like, I don't know, diplomatic. Like you have to really negotiate that. So I feel like this is almost like them sharing these moments that they had together where they can relax, they can be more of themselves, and it's because they've grown comfortable around each other and they like can rely on each other. Okay, this should have mittens on though. Oh, there's a little like train in the middle. Oh, my face hurts already from smiling. Definitely should have mittens. I live in Canada, okay? I know about proper attire when you have to go outside when it's snowing. Mittens, okay? Like, they're looking all smiles and having fun, but I bet you the moment that they were like, and cut, they were like, please give me mittens, my hands are so cold. Because the snow, like, melts. Oh, it's a whole thing. Always wear mittens when there's snow around. But I also just love that this is such a focus on like them spending time with each other, and it's in these places that are like more isolated and stuff. Like we saw them all by themselves at the beginning, and I said like they had the more like professional, mature kind of aesthetic to them, and then we've seen them come together and they're like more and more relaxed with the attire as they're just kind of sitting around and enjoying each other's company and, you know, playing around outside and stuff like that. And it is, like I said, in these like isolated places, so it's very much focused on like them and them spending time together, and like it's almost like the rest of the world doesn't exist or like doesn't matter in this moment because they have each other. And I'm just sat here I don't even know them, and I'm just like sat here smiling because I'm happy that they're happy. I love the clock effect in the production though. They all have great smiles too. I'm just like admiring. I didn't know they were gonna be able to interact with them. But like, I'm assuming they're supposed to be like reindeer. See, they have a camera. That's like what I was saying, like having camera. It was like before when they were looking at the videos of them together too. It's like I was saying with the production where it almost feels like they're making like videos together, like home videos together. I need to stop smiling because it's gonna hurt my face. We're almost done. Okay, she has a wonderful smile. Wait. We need to pause on this. They all have great smiles. Wait. But this... I don't know who you are or what your story is, but your smile is fantastic. I feel like I should screenshot it because if I'm ever having a bad day, I feel like her smile could cheer me up. Oh. My face hurts from smiling. That was so cute though. I loved it. Yeah, that was so cute. Now, I feel like I'm coming into this being like, this is gonna be festive vibes, and it totally was. Loved the fuzzy, warm vibes, but also the like winter festive, but not like specifically, you know, like holidays or anything like that. Love having that in my life at this particular moment because I'm in full festive mode. So getting anything that gives me those vibes, loved it. Loved seeing them together, just like having fun and smiling. And like I said, they all have great smiles, so I love having that in my life. There were some really interesting things with their vocals, even though I feel like they did some cool storytelling things with their vocals, and I really liked the way that they had arranged who was singing what part, but I also have a sneaking suspicion that that is not them actually showing off, because I think it's intentionally them not showing off. So now I just want to know what their songs are like when they full go for it, because I've heard some of their fun songs, but when they really just go for the vocals, what does that sound like? And this is a rabbit hole I cannot afford to fall down. But if you want to give me suggestions in the comments of different Twice things that I could check out, I'm not saying I'll never do that. You know, I don't have a lot of like willpower, so this is a slippery slope that I could fall down, but I had a lot of fun with it. My cheeks hurt from smiling, which is always a good sign when I get into these music videos, and yeah, I'm just full of all the festive, so thank you for recommending that one, and of course watching that along with me. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!